We're going to go over several lookup functions today. In doing so, we'll use the same source data. We have this table right here, which shows us some bonus payment data. It shows an employee ID, the date the bonus was paid, and then the bonus amount. And we want to bring employee name and department into this data so that it's a little more useful for us. We also have a second data source with employee data, which came from our HR department and has an employee ID, an employee name, birthday, and department. This is a classic use case for a VLOOKUP because we have one set of data and we want to bring in other values from another set of data. That's in essence what a VLOOKUP does. So to do a VLOOKUP, obviously we first type equals VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the value that we want to find in our source data. In this case, we would want to look at the employee ID. We'll press a comma, and the table array is the source data that we want to look in. So we'll come over here to this employee data tab and select our data. You can select a table right here with the green dotted lines going around it. I typically just select columns so that if we added data at the very bottom, the formula would pick up that data as well. One thing that's really critical to note with a VLOOKUP is the very first column that you select has to contain the lookup value. So we're looking up based on employee ID, so this employee ID column has to be the first column in our table. Our source data was already set up that way, so we didn't need to worry about it, but in other instances, you might have to watch out for that. We press comma, and then the next thing that the function asks us for is the column index number. So now that we've selected our table array, we need to tell Excel which column we want to return. The columns are numbered just based on column number 1 is this ID column, 2 is name, 3 is birthday, and 4 is department. Because we want to return name in this case, we would type a 2 and then another comma. This last input is in brackets, which means it's optional, but this is a very important component of the VLOOKUP function. As you can see with this little screen tip, a true means it's going to produce an approximate match, and false means it's going to return an exact match. In most cases, you would want an exact match, which means I only want to look for this employee ID, and if that employee ID isn't in my data, then don't return anything. One downside to VLOOKUP is that this function defaults to an approximate match. So if you just leave that range lookup blank, it will do an approximate match and won't pull in the data that you want. So we'll type a false here to make sure that it gives us an exact match. When we press enter, we see that it returned Andre Holt. Typically when I'm doing a VLOOKUP for the first time and I'm going to pull it down to other rows, I spot check it just to make sure that I did it right. So this 6165, if we go back to our source data, 6165 is right here, and it is indeed Andre Holt. So let's go back. If we wanted to return a department, we could pull over this formula, but we didn't lock any of our references, so it's going to return an error. So let's come into our formula. And to lock a column, you put a $sign in front of the column letter. And to lock a row, you put a $sign in front of the row number. We always want our lookup value to come from column A, but we are going to pull this formula down, so we want it to change the row. So we'll just put a $sign in front of the A right there. The other thing that we would want to keep constant is our table array, which we want in column A through D. So we can add $signs to the beginning of those columns. You can also press the F4 button, which will add the $signs for you. So now if we pull over this formula, you'll see that it returned Andre Holt again, which obviously isn't what we want because we want the department. But the reason that it did that was because we're still telling Excel that we want to return the second column. Going back to our source data, you can see that department is actually the fourth column in our data set. So we'll come in here and instead of a 2, we'll type a 4. And then we'll drag that formula down, and now we have our data for every row. A few things just to note though. The most common mistakes I see people making with VLOOKUPs are not having the ID column as the first column in the table array. So if this ID column, for example, were in the middle of our table, that would create an issue. The other big mistake that most people make is not putting that false at the end when they want an exact match. A couple other things that are important to note. With these lookup functions that we'll be going over, Excel will always return the very first instance of that value. So just as an example, let's put Andre Holt down here again and put him in accounting. Now that he's on here twice, this VLOOKUP that we just did is going to always return the executive department because that's the first one in our data set. Another mistake that I see people making with VLOOKUPs is VLOOKUPs aren't great if you're adding to your original source data. So let's say that we wanted to add a column in here for address or something like that. Because we've added to our table array, our names are still the same because we didn't actually change that second column, but our department is now showing up as zeros because this formula is still returning the fourth column over. We added a fourth column and now it's returning all these blanks right here. So if you added a column, you would actually have to change the column number. We'll undo all those changes. And that's your basic VLOOKUP.